Hi friends, how are you? Happy Thursday. Welcome to my 216th Throw It Out Thursday broadcast. It's a continuing education workshop tonight, and it is great to be here with you on Instagram Live after hosting these on Periscope for the last 5 years. Hi everybody, and I am so glad that we are sharing space together tonight. We are going to unpack a concept that I talk a lot about with my customers that I hope will anchor you in this year. Hello everyone, I'm so excited to be on Instagram. This is kind of liberating in a way because it's saving you another app. Everybody's already here anyway, and this is awesome. So thank you for sharing space with me tonight. But this is an invitation. It's an invitation for you to rethink the way that you move through your day and rethink the thoughts that are limiting you, and that maybe year after year you try to come up with some sort of resolution to stop that, and then it just brings you guilt and it makes you feel sad. And so those thoughts are limiting you, and we're not going to tolerate that anymore. That's out the window. Kick it to the curb, because it's Throw It Out Thursday, and that's just what we do. So we are going to be putting a penny in your health bank, and I've got my own right here. And that is a way for you to conceptualize your efforts, the huge impact that those little things, those things that are just a little penny, the smallest increment that we have, make a huge impact. And they add up to big things. And just like when we were kids in school, we used sticker charts and visual aids. And this is something that has really helped me in adulthood become more disciplined with my own wellness. And I am looking forward to having it stored here for you on Instagram Live in my IGTV library, and then it'll also be available on YouTube as well. And so on our agenda tonight, because we are diving right on in, I know many of you watched the doTERRA nutrition webinar launch, and so many of you are tired of looking at a screen, and so I want to let you get back to your evening after this, but we have some really important information to unpack, and so hopefully I can make it dynamic and fun and relatable for you, that it feels really comfortable and it feels like a new comfortable rhythm. So on our agenda tonight, we're going to scratch the surface on a few gentle ways to cultivate some new daily habits that are super small, just like a little penny, and those are going to create a life that you love and that you can feel anchored into. And that will help us say no without any guilt and say yes without any fear. And to do this, we're going to chat about three main things. The first one is how your health and wellness is an ecosystem. And so why what you eat is not the only thing that is designating you or delegating you or whatever as healthy. You know, you can eat all the healthy foods you want to, but that is not the only one piece of the puzzle. And so we're gonna dip into that as well. And then we're gonna talk about a few of my favorite tools and apps and things and ideas that can help you anchor into the discipline of these daily habits, because they really hold a huge impact, just like they add up, just like all these little pennies do. And then at the end, we're going to talk about how we can harness some of the new doTERRA nutrition offerings to do this. And then I'll be answering any of your questions. If you just watched the Power of Healthy webinar from doTERRA, if you have any questions, I have a couple of the frequently asked questions that they shared with us. So if you have any of those, I will hit some of the main ones, and then you can message me afterward if you have any other frequently asked questions that you want to know about the new products. And then lastly, I want you to get involved. I want you to participate right along with me. I want you to grab a mason jar or an empty Tupperware or an empty supplement bottle, whatever you have, and comment below with whatever container you're using, and just grab a handful of pennies. It doesn't have to be a ton. Just grab a handful of pennies, loose change, grab some paper clips or some pom-poms from your kiddos' craft cabinet or whatever. Just tear up some paper even. Hi Amanda, you can even just tear up some paper. Hello Brooklyn, hello Beth, I'm so glad to see you guys here. Hello Kelly. Great, so Kelly's got a small mason jar. Whatever you have, it doesn't have to be fancy. Literally anything will do, even a Ziploc bag is totally fine. And have that ready tonight, because I want you to share this experience with me, and you can participate as well. And because I love spoiling you all, I have a really fun, super small but super fun giveaway, because as we covered, just the little things like a penny can have a big impact. And so I am giving you one of your own mason jar health banks because I want to see you fill this up with the pennies in your health bank. Oh, Beth has a glass bowl, paper clips, perfect. That's all you need. And so I am giving one of these to you, lucky viewers. And if you do not win, you can make your own. It's not anything fancy. You can just use, like I said, whatever you have. So we're gonna dig in and unpack this. The idea of putting a penny in your health bank, and what does that mean? And how are we going to apply it to our narrative this year? So I know for me, I respond best to positive reinforcement. I don't know about you, but everybody that I know responds really well to positive reinforcement. And as a grown-up sticker chart, tracker sheet, whatever you feel like, however it resonates with you in your mind, this is a great tool to use. And I love using tools. I love using visual aids. I love using analogies. And that helps me anchor in because it reminds me of why I'm doing these things. And if I don't know why I'm doing them, why do I want to do them, right? There has to be deeply rooted, anchored intention in the things that I am doing every day. And so I create these monthly wellness challenges for my customer group because this concept is something that is so easy to use to start anything new and to stay disciplined. And so when someone's getting started with oils and they don't know what to do, we set up a call, we go over their wellness, we go over the things that they want to accomplish, and I break it down into small bite-sized pieces for them. And so, maybe you have some shredded paper, maybe you've got the paper clips, maybe you've got some googly eyes or, whatever, maybe you do have pennies around, anything goes, like I said, but I want you to participate. You can do this at home when the broadcast is over if you don't want to get up. But have you ever been afraid to try something? Probably, right? And guess what's underneath those doubts and those fears and those things that block us? A powerful will. We have a seriously powerful will, and we all survived 2020, and that's powerful. And so we know that it's possible, right? And we know that we can do that. And I am just trying to figure out something with this. Instagram Live is totally different now. Okay, hold on. There we go. It zoomed me in. I don't know how to fix that. Okay. Does anyone know how to... Oh, there we go. Okay, great. Yay, learning curve. That's what we do. We do hard things. And you know what? For doing hard things, I'm putting a penny in my health bank right now. But we survived 2020, and that speaks a lot of our powerful will. Hello, everyone. I'm so glad to see you guys joining in. And what we do is we nurture and we cultivate that will every single day with all the things that we do that add up in our health bank. And that is catalytic. That is truly transformative, and the density of 2020 was really huge. And so we're going to look at every angle to see where we can make a few little tweaks and where we can maybe hold space for some new narrative as we move through the day in maybe just a few little small ways that are different. And so that way we can say no, without feeling guilty, and we can say yes to all the things that light us up without fear of failure, because we know that tomorrow it starts over and all we have is these little increments, and we have an opportunity every day, every minute, every hour to put a penny in our health bank. And then also likewise, conversely, we have an opportunity, unfortunately, that if we're doing something that's detrimental, we have to take a penny out, and that doesn't feel good, and you're not going to want to do that because we respond to positive reinforcement. So we want to just break this down as small as we can in a penny. And it's just 1 cent. Like I said, it's the smallest increment, one at a time, 1 penny at a time. That's how you fill this jar, 1 penny at a time. And so just like George and I are renovating our pantry, right? And so just like taking a screwdriver to a squeaky doorknob, we're not changing the way the doorknob looks. We're just securing it nice and tight so that it can actually do what it's meant to do, and so that it can more effectively close the door on things that no longer serve us and open the door to all those new habits that do make us feel good. And so we're going to see how many times we can fill up our health bank this year together. And I would love for you to join me in this effort, and we will hold space for each other. I am your permanent accountability partner in this cozy little nook of the interwebs, and I am so excited to see what you create. So tag me, show me your health bank, Show me when it's half full. Show me when it's overflowing. I am here holding space and I am rooting for you, and I can't wait to see what you do. And so that practice of celebrating that, I want you to practice self-care. I want you to treat yourself in some way that is not going to sabotage the work that you're doing every time your bank is full, okay? And we also want to think about our wellness as an ecosystem. So I love analogies because I think that it makes sense for the way my brain absorbs information, and I love being able to help you hold space for those kinds of concepts that you can easily understand. And so simply, like I mentioned earlier, simply just eating healthy is not going to magically make your life better, and it is not going to magically fill up your health bank. It doesn't mean that you can ignore exercise. It doesn't mean you can ignore toxic relationships. It doesn't mean you can ignore boundaries that protect your emotional energy. But the discipline of continuing to do even the smallest things add up. They add up really big. And we want to know, are you making health deposits or withdrawals in your health bank? Okay, so that's what I want to hold space for, is for you. I want to see what you do with the pennies in your health bank. And like I said, it can be torn up paper, it can be paper clips, hairpins, whatever you have around the house is totally fine. And so I want you to visualize a circle or a pie. And I have this beautiful graphic that I will share on Instagram later. I'm just going to hold it up for a second because I don't want you to focus on this. But this is a visual aid that I'm going to share with you later tonight. And this is a beautiful graphic by Parsley Health. And this is a great way for you to conceptualize your wellness as an ecosystem. And that just eating healthy is not it. That is not gonna make you instantly poof magically healthy because you're gonna eat salad every day. And so I'm gonna quickly name off the quadrants in the pie here, and then I will share this on my stories, and I'll share it on my rewind post later tonight. But so the areas that make up the whole, in addition to eating healthy: career and relationships, finances and physical activity, social life, your spirituality, your creativity, your home, education, and joy. The things that bring you joy. So over the course of the next year, over the course of 2021, when we meet together here monthly on our Throw It Out Thursday continuing education broadcast each month, I am going to continue to refer back to these. We're going to continue to refer back to the pennies in our health bank, and we are applying them in practical ways with the right tools and the daily rhythms to help you. And I hope that that feels comfortable. I hope that feels good and solid and sustainable, because what is not sustainable is creating a resolution that you know in your heart of hearts is not going to be something that you can follow through with. But for whatever reason, maybe you feel social pressure, maybe you feel compelled, whatever the reason. And so I would love for you to think of ways that you can put just one penny in your health bank in just one of the areas that we talk about in what I just shared about our ecosystem. And we're going to talk about that as we go through our evening tonight. And so you can comment below when you are, when you watch the replay, or you can comment below now if you're watching live. You can send me a DM and you can share with me. It doesn't have to be public, but if you want to share with me down below, I would love to hear that. What is one thing that you want to do to put a penny in your health bank? And it doesn't have to be a massive resolution like changing the world or writing a novel or, climbing Mount Everest. It can just be something really small, really, really tiny, because it's just a penny. And I hope you don't get sick of this penny analogy, because we're gonna beat it into submission all night long, because I want you to understand how it's so powerful to just do something so small and realize it has so much power to add up. And so what's also important that I want to mention when we talk about our health and wellness being an ecosystem, I don't believe that they all need to be equal to be in balance. I think that there are seasons in our lives, as we may be in them right now, but that are going to require different attention. And that is something to embrace, that is something to honor, and that is something to acknowledge, and just be aware that this season of our lives is not something where maybe we feel like we can have all of these pieces of the pie, all of these scales in balance equally. That doesn't mean we're not still giving them attention. And so I think that that's kind of a permission slip. Not that certainly I'm nobody to give you a permission slip, but if ever there was a time for you to give yourself a permission slip, it's that just because that there are areas in your life that you want to improve, it doesn't mean that you have to give that, because you can't possibly give 100% to everything in your life. You can share that load, and sometimes, the burden shifts. And so I think that that's really helpful to realize, okay, in this season of life, like Beth is saying, I want to get more sleep. And so something else is going to have to give. If I want to get more sleep, how am I going to tip the scale so that I can get more sleep and that something else has to go away? That means I have to create a world where I'm okay saying no to something that does not serve me, because sleep absolutely does serve me. And that is really powerful. And so that's a choice that, even though they're not equal, they're still in balance, because they're balancing you out, because you're saying no to the things that you want to eliminate so you can say yes to the things that you want to hold space for. And so when I need clarity on these things, there are a couple oils that I like to lean on for support, and a couple of those are Balance and Adaptive. These two are really great. I love these so much. In fact, as I mentioned earlier, my team, I put together wellness challenges for my customer group every single month, and they're different. Every month is different. Sometimes we'll go with the seasons. And because I knew the heaviness of January and that people do feel this pressure, we are doing 30 days of Adaptive. And so this is a little tracker sheet that I created for my tribe. And so it breaks down the day with AM diffuser and morning, set up your diffuser, you do a palm balm of your oils, you do a midday emotional check-in, you do a palm balm and diffuse at night, and you do your adaptive capsules. And it's just one thing to get yourself tapped into your mental health. And so we have these really cool color-coded blocks here, and that I have my customers, and of course, as you can see, I'm doing it along with them, because I want to know throughout the day what's happening in my emotional health and wellness. And that's one thing. And so because I have checked in today, I'm giving myself a penny in my health bank. And so if you have checked in today with your mental health, if you've put an oil on today, give yourself a penny or whatever you are putting in there. And so, like I mentioned, when I want clarity on some of these things, I will lean on some of my oils, and Adaptive is one of those. We're using it all month long, every single day, morning, noon, and night. And it's really incredible the shifts that we see when we just hone in on that one thing. And then of course, Balance is our grounding blend. This is great to apply in the morning right after you roll out of bed. In fact, putting it in your nightstand is really helpful. But I also like Peace and Clary Calm. These are great for any hormonal things that you might be dealing with. And so we're gonna just do a palm balm, and I invite you to oil up if you have an oil near you. I love Peace. It's just Olivia and I. It is one of our really favorite oils that we love. And just roll that oil right into your palm. You can put it on your wrists. You can put it on your ankle bones. You can put it on any diffuser jewelry that you want, and just cover your nose and mouth and take a couple deep breaths. Oh my God, it just feels so good. I love the smell of Peace. It's just so grounding, and I love it. So I hope that you oiled up. In the comments, if you want, you can share with me what oil that you chose. So those are just a couple little highlight oils of the ones that I like to use when I want clarity and I want to just kind of do a little Control Alt Delete. So now that we've established that our awareness, that we are aware of our health being an ecosystem, and that eating healthy is just not the whole story. That's just not the whole story. And why the penny in the health bank concept can help anchor you, we are going to make a few little adjustments and little additions, just, tighten those screws to the daily habits in some basic foundational areas that can really help align you to that sweet spot with consistency if you want. Okay, and then it becomes an automatic rhythm. It just becomes that rhythm. Oh, good, Dana. Oh, I love Adaptive and Motivate together. That's awesome. I keep Breathe and Motivate up in my gym room every morning. I love that. Brooklyn says Frank is sitting on her nightstand. I love these oils you guys are choosing. Oh my gosh, I just want to have smell-o-vision, although probably not all the time. And so, I love being able to consider these new habits as a rhythm. It's just like the way when we listen to a song, it's the rhythm that we get into, and it's the rhythm and the flow of our day, that these things can be sustainable and gentle, not abrupt. We don't want to think, it's like we don't think twice about brushing our teeth every day. We don't think twice about washing our hands every day. And those are habits that we know are good for us. And so why is it that we can't do that in other areas of our health and wellness? And so maybe nobody ever put it in the frame of the penny in the health bank, that you should maybe get a penny in your health bank if you brush your teeth because you know that's good for you, but maybe you take it for granted now, and now you don't need a reminder like maybe you did when you were a kiddo that you need to brush your teeth. You know, after being told 1,001 times, you probably remember, okay, you know, I need to brush my teeth. And then it's just automatic. It's an automatic rhythm. You have your routine and you automatically brush your teeth and you automatically wash your hands and you automatically do all these things. Why do you do that? You know, it's just written in your genetic code now because you do it. It's muscle memory. It's part of your day. And we want to make it as simple as that, as simple as a penny. That's it. It doesn't get more complicated than that. 1 penny. Okay? And so this is going to allow you to respond to the situations maybe in a different way and maybe view the way that you think about your time and that you think about the hours in the day a little differently. And the habit itself is actually the goal. So I know that might sound weird because, you know, we make goals and it's like, okay, my goal is to do this or my goal is to do that. But actually, if you really look at it at the granular level, if you look at it like a penny, really what's at the core? The core is the habit that gets you to the goal. So if you want to save money for a car, if you want to pay off your debt, what are you going to do? You're going to put money into paying that off or paying that down or whatever that is. That means if it means you not buying whatever other items you want, there's a choice there, right? So it's a trade-off. And so again, the goal is not an outcome that happens from, the goal is not what, you just really want to focus on the habits. The habit is the goal at the end of the day. And so this is really going to shift the way that you probably think about the goals that you had in the past. And maybe that will be something that you can resonate on and really think about in the back of your mind. When you go to sleep tonight, think about in the past what goals you've had. Did you attain them? And what did it take to attain those goals? You know, if you want to be able to run a mile, you can't just run a mile without practicing. I mean, maybe you can, but maybe you're going to need to stop a couple times. And so maybe one day you run for 2 minutes and then you take a break. And then the next day you run for 3 minutes and then you take a break. And the next day you run for 3.5 minutes and you take a break. And then eventually you work your way up there. But the habit is actually what's getting you to that point. It's not just, okay, I want to go from 0 to 60 without that work. It's the work that you're putting in that is the habit. And that habit is actually the goal at the core. Because what happens after you run a mile? Okay, great, you run a mile, ta-da, poof. Does your life end? No. Do you turn into just a ball of energy? No, you're still here. And so what's next, right? But if we cultivate these habits of, well, every day I exercise and every day I go for a run, that's something that you can get a bunch of pennies in your health bank for. And the habit of exercising and moving your body is strengthening your immune system. And that is improving your mental state, that's reducing your anxious feelings, but your goal doesn't have to be to lose weight or to see a number on the scale. And so how would it feel if your goal is to maintain the habit of moving? Does that feel comfortable? Does that feel worthy of putting a penny in your health bank? That is the goal, is to maintain the habit. So it's kind of a way of looking at it sort of in reverse. And so moving your body every day serves every single one of the areas in your ecosystem that we talked about. And you might not think of it, but they really do. So when you have a chance later on tonight, when I share the graphic, I would love to get your feedback on that. Truly moving your body, even if it's just stretching for 5 minutes, it doesn't need to be a rigorous 3-hour, marathon run, but it serves every single one of the areas in your ecosystem. It really is an ultimate multitasker. So by showing up for yourself, you can show up for all the other areas better and all the other people in your life. And you can put a penny in your health bank for it too. And that is truly catalytic also. And so once you establish that habit, you might be surprised at how disciplined you can be with it. And just by making that one choice can set the right tone for your entire day, like making the bed, okay? So I want you to get your health bank and I want to get your pennies or whatever paper clips, googly eyes, pom-poms, ripped paper, whatever you got. And if you made your bed today, put a penny in your health bank, okay? And that starts to add up little by little. And the thing is that maybe no one will even know. If you live by yourself, no one's gonna know. No one but George and Olivia would know if I made the bed. I make the bed for me. I like the way it starts my day. I am giving myself a penny for that. It costs $0. Well, maybe a penny because I'm putting a penny in my health bank, but it costs $0 to make your bed. And I would love for you, as you're watching this, to comment below with one thing you did today that you can put a penny in your health bank for. So I want you to put a whatever pom-pom googly eye penny in your health bank for something that you did today. And it could be whatever it is, and if you want to share it, I would love to hear it. But the right small habits can totally shift your perspective when challenges come up. And anchoring into these habits can ground you when you feel like you're starting to unravel in other areas of your ecosystem, like your mental health. For example, George and I are renovating our pantry, and I've been sharing about it every day, so you can't escape the fact that we're renovating our pantry. And there is no more shiplap available, and only half of our pantry is done. And we cannot build the rest of our shelves without the shiplap, and it's all gone. There's none in the area, like in an hour and a half drive. And so we could have gotten really upset and mad and screamed and yelled and whatever, or I oiled up and I was like, you know what, it'll work itself out and we'll figure it out, you know? And that's a shift because probably a year ago or 5 years ago, not a year ago, but maybe 5 years ago, 6 years ago, earlier on in my journey, I would have really gotten upset and frustrated and mad, but I have the tools now. And so I'm more grounded at my core because I move my body every day. That helps me manage my anxious feelings. I feel more in control, and I have the tools like peace and clarity, calm and adaptive and all the things that I need to support myself when I'm going through something, whatever that could be. So, and when you do something that maybe is not so worthy of putting a penny in your health bank, you don't need to assign guilt to it. Just take a penny out, untwist it and take a penny out. And after a while, that's going to sting. That's going to hurt because you don't want to take a penny out. You want to save up until it's overflowing and you feel that exciting joy and accomplishment when it's all filled up. And so you will realize it's like the negative reinforcement that you don't want to have the finger in the mouse trap. It's like the mouse with the cheese, you don't want that to happen. And so over time, you become rooted in those habits and then you become disciplined. And that actually feels liberating because it's a way for you to cope more gently. That if you know when you get anxious that you need to go for a jog, or when you feel anxious you need to be by yourself, when you feel anxious you need to put on an oil, that is you learning your body and how to serve your body, and that deserves a penny in your health bank. So if that's happened to you today, put a penny in your health bank right now. And so I have a little story that I want to share with you before we continue with the rest of the content for our evening together. And I heard this on one of the guided meditations that I do every single night on the Peloton app. And I thought that this might resonate with you as we look ahead to the possibility of this new year and all that the clean slate has to offer, and some ways that maybe we can respond to challenging situations that are emotional when they come up in our lives. And maybe this is something that can help you remember how you want to respond, and that the way you respond is your choice. You are in control and you have the power of choice, okay? So you may have heard it before. Hi, Sonia, aren't you up past your bedtime? One day, and this story, it involves a potato, an egg, and coffee beans. So some potatoes, some eggs, and coffee beans. And if you've already heard this, then you know how it ends. But for those of you that have never heard this before, hopefully this resonates with you. So one day, a daughter was complaining to her father that her life was miserable and she was tired of fighting and struggling. And her father took her to the kitchen and he filled 3 pots with water on a high heat on the stove. And once the pots began to boil, he put the potatoes in one, and he put the eggs in the second one, and then he put coffee beans in the third, ground coffee beans in the third. And he let them sit and he let them boil without saying a word. And the daughter was impatient and she's like, what is going on here? What are you doing? What are you doing? And after 20 minutes, he turned off the burners. He took the potatoes out, placed them in a bowl. He took the eggs out, placed them in a bowl, and he ladled the coffee out and placed that in a cup. And he said, look closer, now touch the potatoes. And she did, and they were soft. And he asked her to take an egg and to break it. And after she pulled off the shell, she observed that it was a hard-boiled egg now. And then lastly, he said, okay, take a sip of the coffee. And the rich aroma brought a smile to her face. And she said, Father, what does this mean? Like, what is this for? What are you doing? And he explained that the potatoes, the eggs, and the coffee beans had each faced the same diversity adversity, whatever. They faced the same situation, and the boiling water was that adversity, and they each reacted differently though, in such diverse ways. The potato went in strong and hard and unrelenting, but the boiling water made it soft and weak. And the egg was very fragile, and it had a thin outer shell protecting its liquid inside until it was put in the boiling water. And then the inside of the egg became hardened. However, the coffee beans were unique because after they were exposed to the boiling water, they changed the water completely and created something new. And he said, which one are you? And when adversity knocks on your door, how are you going to respond? Are you going to be the potato? Are you going to be the egg? Or are you going to be the coffee beans? And so the moral of the story is that in life, when things happen around us and things happen to us, how are we going to react to the challenges when they come up? What are we going to make of that? And can you turn something negative into something positive? And so this is just an invitation to hold space for cultivating the tools, for having those habits to learn and to adapt, to make the best of each of those experiences while mindfully putting a penny in your health bank. And so just for opening your mind and being here tonight, put a penny in your health bank, because that is awesome. And you are saying yes to you in a way bigger than you probably even acknowledge or realize at this time. And so with that little heartwarming tale under our belt, all of the areas of our ecosystem can thrive one penny at a time. And that is mindfulness, and that is something that we all have the power to do with cultivating these small habits to create a life that we love, that we can say no to the things that don't serve us without any guilt whatsoever. Kick them to the curb. They cannot stay. You can tell them that Mama Hilsey said they have to go, right? Their time is up. And we can say yes to the things that do serve us, that bring us joy, that make us happy without feeling fear, without being afraid of that. And so we want to let that light in, and we can investigate those habits and what habits that we can look at, that we can just tighten those loose screws on the doorknobs. So we can shut the door on the things that don't serve us without feeling guilty, and we can open the door to the things that make us happy. And so first we're going to talk about your daily oil and your daily supplement routine. So put a penny in your health bank if you have defined the 3 main areas of your focus with your wellness and your oils, because it's really important to know why you're using your oils. So why are you using oils? If you can pinpoint really quickly those 3 main reasons that you are using oils, you can put a penny in your health bank. Okay, and actually you can put 3 because you're going to give yourself 1 for each. I'm going to give myself 1 for each. And I have a homework assignment. Maybe you are feeling overwhelmed, like I'm giving you homework, but you're gonna make the penny in your health bank, and you have a little homework assignment. I would like for you to reach out to whoever brought you to doTERRA, because I'm here sharing information and education on essential oils. So most of the people watching, you probably have oils. And so I would love for you to reach out to whoever brought you to doTERRA and ask them to schedule a 30-minute wellness consult check-in for you. You deserve that, and you are going to put a penny in your health bank when you do this. And I've mentioned this before, but they are earning income. Whoever got you started with oils, they're earning income on every order that you place. It's literally their job to support you and educate you. And so they can help you look at the healthy habits framework that doTERRA has available to us and get you feeling comfortable using the products that you invested in that are maybe collecting dust. Are you taking your vitamins every day? If you're not, this is an amazing opportunity for you to use some of those tools that you have at your fingertips already. So they can help you do that. And then the new nutrition line that launched tonight is a great addition as well. And we'll talk about that for a few minutes at the end. But even if it's as simple as helping you stay on track with taking your vitamins, diffusing your oils before bedtime, maybe just swiping some balance on the bottom of your feet before you go to bed, that's huge. Put a penny in your health bank if you took your vitamins today, okay? So I want you to put a penny in your health bank, a googly eye, a pom-pom, whatever you're doing, put it in your health bank, because you are rich in awesomeness and your wellness is thanking you. And put a penny in your health bank every time you use an oil. Well, I'd have to probably put a lot of pennies in my health bank because I've been using oils all day today because it has been a heavy day in the United States here, right? So I'm going to put a bunch of pennies in my health bank because I used probably 10 or 15 oils today already. And you want to do that. You want to be making that connection between what you're doing and the fact that it's serving you. Okay, so that is totally powerful. And then whoever got you started, when they do your wellness consult, your wellness check-in with you, you can do it over video chat, you can do it over the phone or Zoom or whatever you want to use, but they can give you a checklist. They can help you create something. And like I showed you earlier, the things that I create every month for my team help me do that because it allows me to help plug my new customers in that for 30 days, this gives you a roadmap that in the morning, you're going to put on your oils. And in the afternoon, you're going to diffuse your oils, you're going to put your oils on, you're going to check in with your mental wellness and how are you doing, how are you feeling, and tapping into that and maybe identifying some triggers throughout the day and taking your capsule before bedtime. And it's just one simple thing that you can do to fill up those pennies in your health bank. Okay, and so like I mentioned, I have these tools in my VIP group and it makes a huge difference. If you don't have that, you can create something for your customers, or you can ask your customer, your whoever is your oily mentor, your oil fairy, your oil guide, ask them to plug you in. Maybe they have some of those checklists and resources for you that you can dial into so that you don't have to feel like you are creating something out of nothing. And every month we work on cultivating a different area of our health ecosystem through those small little habits. And I create these tracker sheets for every challenge. So again, they don't have to reinvent the wheel, that I'm making it really easy for you. And maybe not everyone's a visual learner and they can use it digitally, but I love the visual element of checking it off or filling it in or completing that. And that's to me the same strength as putting a penny in my health bank every day. And so speaking of the wheel, for example, like I showed you, this is something that you can do in every area of your wellness. You can do this for movement or for stretching or for, not getting short-tempered with your kiddos or for eating a colorful vegetable. It doesn't have to be rocket science. It can just be something super simple. And it's easy to follow. It's easy to stay consistent. It's easy to put a penny in your health bank every day. And then it also allows you to hold space for that accountability, that you have other people that are like-minded with you, sharing that collective energy of all of you are working towards something bigger than yourselves. But it starts with you and it starts with just one penny, and that's really powerful too. And so if you don't have oils yet and you want to, reach out to me anytime and I will help support you. Put a penny in your health bank if you are open to this idea. If you're open to the idea of starting to put either pen to paper or have some app that tracks what you're doing each day, and it doesn't have to take a lot of time. Literally like a checkbox. That's going to take you 1 second if you have a whiteboard or a sticker chart or whatever. But I know for me and Olivia, we love that kind of gratification of seeing our accomplishments adding up day after day after day. And so your daily fitness and your mindful movement routine, that's a perfect segue into our next area. So gyms are closed, most of them, at least. If not, they're really limited on how many people can go. And kids are learning remotely from home. If you have little ones, this makes home exercise even more important than it probably ever was, because you're expected to do even more than you ever have. And since June, I've been using the Peloton digital content library, and it's free for 2 months. So if you have not explored it, it is an awesome resource and I highly encourage you to check it out. You don't need a bike, you don't need a treadmill. There's every genre of content: Pilates, bar, equipment, free cardio, strength training, yoga, stretching, prenatal offerings, like I said, meditations that I take every night. And I discovered this free group on Facebook that there's like 40,000 members there. And if you want me to connect you to them, I will. But it's this free group that creates a workout calendar every single month. And every morning, you probably see on my Insta stories that I check off my workouts every single day. And every single day, there's usually about 3 to 4 workouts. There's like a core workout, and then there's maybe an upper body or a lower body, yoga. And then there's boot camp options, and it's really great. And that is, for me, that is how I can feel disciplined, by putting a penny in my health bank, by checking that off, putting a penny in, seeing that I am seeing the benefits. Obviously, I feel them over time, but sometimes you might not realize the impact. And so when at the end of the month, I look at this and all the days, all the workouts are checked off, because that's my commitment to myself, that I need to show up for me. If I want to be here talking to you about health and wellness, then I have to be doing that. That is my job. Literally, it is my job to advocate wellness. That is my title at doTERRA, wellness advocate. And so I advocate for my wellness every day. And I love to show you how simple it is, and as simple as 1 penny. And you can make your own. You can use something that's floating around. You can Google for, Peloton workout calendar, whatever. But if you want access to all of that, it's free for 2 months. You can have access to all the workouts, and none of these workouts require any equipment at all. They don't require any equipment. You can do them on your own, maybe just some weights, but you can use cans of soup or whatever you have around to do all of those. And if you do decide that you want to invest in that, it's, I believe, $36 a month, I think $36 or $40 a month to have access to all that content after the 2-month trial's over. But you don't need any equipment to have access to all that content. And you can do it anywhere you have a Wi-Fi connection. And then if you do purchase a Peloton treadmill or a Peloton bike, hit me up and DM me, because I have a $100 coupon that is great for everybody to use. So if you purchase a bike before you go to checkout, let me know and I'll give you my coupon code, because getting $100 off is almost like getting your shoes for free, which is great. And it's something that everybody can take advantage of. But every time you move your body, put a penny in your health bank. And if you exercised today, if you stretched today, if you moved your body, if you went for a walk, put a penny in your health bank, because that is something super significant. And I feel so much stronger from doing strength workouts every day. In the beginning, when I got my bike, I was just doing cardio and I was just riding my bike. But then when I discovered the strength group, it really helped me, because there were like thousands and thousands of classes, and I couldn't kind of figure out like, okay, well, which days do I do upper body? What days do I do lower body? And so I've never before in my life been this consistent with exercise. And I've been exercising forever. I mean, George and I met at a gym. He taught me how to box. And we met at the gym, and that gym is no longer open. That gym closed years and years ago, actually probably over a decade ago. But 20 years ago when we met, that's where we met, working out at a gym. He was a trainer and I worked at the front desk. And so, but with the Peloton, it tracks everything for you. And so for 30 weeks, this is my 30th week of moving my body every single day with intention. 30 weeks, that's a lot. That's more than half a year. And so, but that's not, my goal is not to, I want to reach it to where I've worked out for 52 weeks. Okay, well, yes, but my goal is to continue moving my body and to continue becoming stronger. And, I just love that I get to be in charge of that. I'm a deliberate creator. So that's a choice that I'm making. Nobody's telling me I have to do that. And even if you take a rest day, you can still continue with that consistency, like doing a meditation or a 10-minute stretch class or a 10-minute core class or a yoga flow. That can totally shift your emotional energy, your productive energy, your immune health, your cortisol levels, everything. That supports all the ships in your harbor. And so this is not something you have to do all at once. You don't have to do every single workout like I do in the morning, because my schedule is so abundant that if I don't get it done in the morning, then it won't get done. But if you want to do maybe 10 minutes here, 10 minutes after lunch, before the kids wake up or after they go to bed, or at lunchtime, if it's nice weather where you live and you can get outside and go for a walk, whatever is going to serve you is what is going to be the best way for you to fill up the pennies in your health bank. So the bottom line is, when you are nourishing yourself, you have more to give to everybody in the world. And if you feel like you've nourished yourself today, put a penny in your health bank, because the fact that you're here right now, you deserve one, at least one, if not maybe two, because the world is heavy right now. So we're going to put in 2 pennies for our health bank right there. The next area is our sleep routine. So put a penny in your health bank if you diffused your oils last night by your bedside, okay? Put a penny in your health bank if you rolled oils on your feet, on your skin, or on your hands last night, because I did all of those. So I'm going to give myself 3 pennies because I do my skin serum. I roll my Sleepy Time roller blend of Olivia's Oasis on my feet. I put that blend in the humidifier, and I also use the body butter on my hands because we're washing our hands 1,000 times. And yes, this class, you definitely deserve a penny and then some. And put a penny if you enjoy any of the guided meditations available online or in the Peloton app. I know I do. I love love them. I can't wait to do them tonight. So I'll wait to put a penny in my health bank until tomorrow morning when I've done all those tonight. And the next area is our relationships routine. So maybe if this is something that can resonate with you, maybe no phones at the dinner table. Maybe you can put a penny in your health bank when you can commit to this. That is a rule in our house, no phones at the dinner table. Before COVID times, you know, when you'd go out to dinner with a big group of people and you look at the table and everyone has their phone on the table, unless there's a baby being born, or unless there's an emergency, or unless you are waiting to take a photo of a group or something, just put your phone away. It's really not polite, because it's telling the people that you're with that someone else is more important than they are, and that's not nice. And so put a penny in your health bank if you enjoyed a meal today without your phone at the table with your family. And we like to use fun conversation cards. There's like a kids version called I can't remember what the name is, but there's like table topics. I think one's like our family or our something, but they're really, really fun, and they can start great conversation during mealtime. Or you can go around the table and we do pit, peak, and seed, and then we also do funny and cool. So if you're new to following me, the pit, peak, and seed is the lowest point of your day. The peak is the highest point of your day. The seed is something you're looking forward to or something you're excited about. And then the funny and the cool. So something funny that happened and then something cool that happened. So that is something that really creates a fun conversation with your family, because even if you're together at home quarantining and you're not going out and your kids are doing their virtual school, if you're in your office working, or if you're upstairs folding laundry, or if your spouse is working on something in the garage or whatever, it's nice at dinner time to just come together and share what happened in their day. Maybe they got a funny message, or maybe something funny happened when they were on their virtual school. And it's just a really nice rhythm to get into when you can share that dialogue. And the questions are really fun. You can find them on Amazon. They're called table topics. You can just type in like conversation cards on Amazon and they'll come up. But maybe you can ask your spouse or your significant other or whoever's living in your home with you, what can I do to be helpful to you right now? If they are running around like a chicken with their head cut off, if they are overwhelmed, if they are doing way too many things and their schedule is very abundant, just asking that question, put a penny in your health bank for doing that, because that is something really powerful. You don't have to have all the answers, but if there's something you can do to lighten their load, just asking them might make them feel like that energy is a little bit diffused, like that tension for them running around doing things, And whenever Olivia or George asks me that is so helpful to me. That is one of the most helpful things someone can say is, what can I do right now to be helpful to you? And that is huge, because it is. And so try that. So if you have done that today for someone, or if you have had someone do that for you, put a penny in your health bank. And a little funny example. So George works the midnight shifts, and we are typically waking up when he is getting off work. And I refill the humidifier by his bedside, because we set it up overnight, and then obviously by the morning it's depleted. So I fill up the humidifier and I turn down the bed on his side, even though I've already made the bed before he's gotten home. And it's cold when he gets out of the shower, because when he's at work all night, he comes home, he takes a shower, and then he goes to bed. And so it's cold when he gets out of the shower. So I turn on the heating pad, and he has a lot of like back and neck pain and things from just chronic lifting bags at United Airlines for over a decade. And so I put the heating pad, I slide that in the bed, and I take the sheets off, and I turn the bed down for him so that it's nice and cozy when he gets out of the shower. And I'm putting a penny in my health bank for being nurturing to my husband, because that's really an important part of nurturing your relationships, and that's part of the cultivating that ecosystem that's not just about eating healthy, but it's about moving our body and taking our supplements and our relationships and putting that energy into the other people that you are experiencing life with. And so, you can offer a weekly aroma touch, or have a Symphony of the Cells date night in after the kiddos are in bed. Or if you don't have kids, you can just schedule that in and say, when would you have 10 minutes? When would you have 15 minutes where I can give you a Symphony of the Cells, or where I can give you an aroma touch, and put it on the calendar? Because you don't break commitments that are on the calendar. Just like if you had a dentist appointment, you don't not show up to the dentist, you have an appointment. And just like that deserves your energy and respect, so does the appointments for you and for your family. So if your kiddos love Aroma Touch or love Symphony of the Cells, this is a great way to just have that touch and have that time where you can invest in whatever might be going on with them, and you benefit, because when the oils are on your hands, you benefit too. So definitely put a penny in your health bank for that. Now, there's lots of things you can do: puzzles, games, maybe watching a show on Netflix, maybe taking a walk together, maybe finding a show that you both like together that's funny or that you can just relax, whatever that is. But put those pennies in your health bank when you can tap into some of those super simple rhythms. Can maybe change the course of your day. I know it sounds simple, but just asking someone, what was the highlight of your day? What was the worst part of your day? What was something that you're looking forward to? You just because you live with each other, you might not realize how often do you ask each other what your hopes and dreams are. Maybe you think you know, but unless you ask every day, you might not really know. And next, we're going to move on to our meal and nutrition routine. So this is one of my favorite topics. Now, as we've talked about, of course, eating healthy is not the only element to our ecosystem, but it is a big one, because what you put in your body is what you are going to use to fuel you. And so if you're putting in good foods, you can put a penny in your health bank. I'm going to give myself several. And if you are not making the best health choices, you need to take some of those pennies out. And eventually that's not going to feel so good. So if you can plan even one day's meals from start to finish, put a penny in your health bank. And you just dry erase board or a Post-it note. It doesn't have to be fancy. It doesn't have to be a fancy printable from Etsy, but you can Google for that. And you don't have to have the entire month figured out. Some people feel like, oh, I have to meal plan. So that means I have to have from day 1 to 30 and every morning, noon, and night, and snack, everything in between. You don't have to. Maybe if you want to, maybe that liberates you, but you don't have to. And it's nice to feel like it's just a penny. Just one day's meal. Just breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And if that feels too complicated, maybe just plan dinner. Because sometimes that's really the hardest. You're busy at the end of the day. Maybe you forgot to defrost something and you're not sure what to make. That can be helpful for you. So organize your list of the things that you need for the meal that you're planning or the meals that you're planning, and maybe try out grocery delivery or try out curbside grocery pickup. And if you have reallocated your time so that you don't have to go to the grocery store, you don't have to go to Costco, because guess what? Instacart will do all that for you. They will pick up all your things from Costco. They will pick up all your things from the grocery store. They will pick up multiple things from multiple grocery stores all in one and deliver it to you. So I love grocery delivery, because all that time that I used to spend in the grocery store, now I can allocate to lots of other areas of my day that I want to give attention to. And maybe do you have a time of day that triggers you to snack more than normal? For me, it used to be after dinner. And a few hours after Olivia was settled into bed, I would have a snack. And then maybe I would have another snack. And then maybe another snack. And that turned into sometimes the calories of a small meal, even if it's healthy things like yogurt and granola or crackers or pretzels or whatever that might be. And so I was very curious about intermittent fasting, and I downloaded a free app called ZeroFasting. I had really not learned anything about it, but a couple of my customers had done it and they had been sustaining it for years. And I thought, you know what? I really want to just learn what that's all about and see if that's something for me, see if that resonates for me. And that was 75 days ago. And so today's day 75 of intermittent fasting that I have loved doing that. And so I am putting a penny in my health bank for that, because that is something that I never thought that I could do. And I didn't even have a goal. Like, truly, I am living this that I am sharing with you, that I was just literally wanting to learn about it. I just was like, universe, I'm open. I just want to learn. I downloaded the app and I'm like, let's just see how my body reacts. And then after 7 days and after 10 days and after 20 days, I was like, this is really working for me. I really like this. I'm sleeping great. I'm feeling great. I'm feeling more mental clarity. And it's, my clothes are fitting looser. I have lost pounds. I have lost inches. But it really works well for my schedule. And I've been following it since October. And again, it works best for me because my mornings are the busiest. And I don't consider this a diet. I don't feel like it's restrictive, actually. If anything, I feel like it's liberating, because if you count calories, you feel very restricted by that a lot of the time. And I follow the 16-8 model. And so for those of you that do not know what intermittent fasting is, if you download the app, and I'll put this in my rewind post later tonight for you, but it means that there's a large window of the day where you do not eat, you're fasting, and then there's a smaller window of the day where is an open eating window. And so the 16 hours is when I fast, and then the 8 hours is the eating window. And so for me, I do 16 hours fasted and 8 hours of an eating window, and most of those fasting hours, I'm asleep. So at first I was very intimidated. I'm like, how am I supposed to go 16 hours without eating? But for me, that equates to clocking in the app around 5 or 6 o'clock after dinner. And then it sends me a push notification when my fast is over. It will send you a push notification 1 hour before your fast is over. And so 16 hours later, usually around 10 or 11 a.m., anytime in that window. And by the time I'm able to break my fast, I've already gotten Olivia up. I've already gotten her breakfast served to her. I've gotten her started with her school for the day. I've gotten my workout done. I've showered. I've gotten dressed for the day. And I've started my own workload for the day. And then I'll have a snack between that brunch and dinner time, maybe 1 or 2 o'clock. And then we eat dinner at 5 o'clock. And it took me a few days to adjust. But after that, it was quite liberating for me. And I drink a lot more water now. And I don't even think about food during my fasting hours. And I never thought that I could be that disciplined, but it really helped me having that framework, having that app where I was checking in and it was tracking my progress. And then every day I was seeing that add up, and it was like 7 days, 10 days, 15 days, 20 days, 25 days, 50 days, 75 days. And the goal for me was just to see if I could maintain that, just to try it and see how it worked for my body. And my digestion has been more comfortable. My body is not trying to digest food when I'm sleeping late at night. I get better quality sleep because of it. And if you are a coffee person and you're thinking, how am I going to go without coffee? You can drink black coffee. You can drink plain tea or plain water. You just can't have anything with like fat or calories in there. So, like for me, I'll drink LaCroix if I want something like sparkly or whatever at night. But you know, that's a morning ritual, and over time that can absolutely shift. So put a penny in your health bank if you are mindful about your eating, and maybe you try to not eat in the late hours of the evening. And so for me, that was my trigger time of day. I realized I didn't need a snack in the evening. I realized I was not hungry. It was an emotional response, maybe perhaps to whatever stressors were happening during the day that I didn't even have an opportunity to process because I had to just do so many things and be responsible for Olivia's school and, you know, do my job and do all these things and be responsible for keeping that ship moving forward and getting dinner on the table and getting lunch prepared and doing all that, that maybe by the time the day was over and my house was quiet, then I was starting to use food as an emotional trigger. And again, even if it wasn't like, you know, a pan of brownies or whatever, even if it's a yogurt and granola parfait, that's not the worst thing for you. But did I need to be eating another meal after dinner? No, my dinner had more than enough protein, more than enough vegetables. There's no reason that I should be eating, you know, several servings of whatever in the evening hours. And so I was able to gain a lot more control over my willpower and over my emotions and harness that in healthier ways. So I am really proud of that. And if that is something that resonates with you and maybe you're open to learning about it, message me and we can chat back and forth a little about it. I can answer any questions you have. I'm by no means an expert, but the research that I have done about intermittent fasting shows reduced inflammation, better brain cell turnover, and I'm like, give me all of that, because we need that, right? We need all those immune support tools in our cabinet, in our toolbox, and all those pennies in our health bank. And as you can see, just in the last hour, our health bank is almost really making an impact. Like, we can see the collection of all those daily habits. And so just to kind of tie this up in a bow, anchoring in to being the architect of your habits, you are a deliberate creator. You have the control to do that. It actually frees up a lot of emotional bandwidth, because you don't have to feel guilty that you didn't exercise today, because you did. You didn't have to feel guilty that you didn't make your bed, because you did. And even if nothing else goes your way, at least you know you did one thing today that can that can put a penny in your health bank. And so these are just a few examples that I share of things that I do that anchor me in when time feels overly abundant. And yes, she's saying that that intermittent fasting helps with morning headaches, and also Clary Calm is great for that. You can put that on your ankle bones for any head tension. But yeah, you know, and just giving yourself permission to try something without fear of failure. That's what this is all about. Saying no without feeling guilty, and saying yes without feeling afraid. So what if it's not for you? Okay, but give it a try. You know, or maybe try something else. Try something that's going to allow you to put a penny in your health bank. And, you know, when you start to establish these rhythms, these new habits of ways that you can flow through your day, you find that you wake up with more intention. I feel like I have purpose when I wake up. I know exactly what's expected of me. I know exactly what I need to do in the morning. And that takes away a lot of pressure of feeling like I have to do all these different things. I know exactly what I need to do, and that anchors me. Maybe that doesn't anchor you, but for me, that helps me because I don't need to wonder, oh my gosh, what am I supposed to do today? I know because I have my systems in place that I know what I need to do and how I need to allocate my time. And I want to honor my body every day. That is not selfish to do that. And I want all the areas of my wellness ecosystem to be supported. And the habits and the rhythms that we establish can streamline our day. And anchoring into the discipline of knowing what works best for your body and that kind of accountability you need can make all the difference. If all the accountability you need is putting a penny in your health bank, you are done. You are good to go. You're set. Get your googly eyes, your pom-poms, your Q-tips, your cotton balls, whatever, ripped paper, paper clips, anything. Get whatever you have. If that's gonna help you, if that's what you need, then you've got those tools. If it's me, I'm here to hold you accountable. If you wanna tag me, DM me, share with me. I wanna hear your story. I wanna know what you are doing that is bringing you joy and allowing you to say no without guilt and yes without fear this year. I want to hear that, and I am happy to hold space for you and be that accountability buddy for you if you do not have one in any area of your life elsewhere. And when you start to do this, you don't feel overwhelmed, because you know how to allocate your time. And you also might start to realize that it changes the narrative on how you thought your time was allocated or how much time you thought you might have had throughout your day. And remembering that the habits are the goal and finding a way to quantify them with a penny in our health bank hopefully helps you see how those little things add up to really big things. And this concept can help you establish a loose routine that's flexible. And this idea, you can transfer this to your kids. You can transfer this to your friends. You can transfer this to your family, that this can apply in any circumstance where you want to cultivate something different or something that maybe feels scary, or that you feel afraid to try. And you can start to see that those pennies add up quickly. And it's a way for you to give yourself permission to reward yourself when the bank is full too. Like maybe you want to get new workout shoes. Maybe you want to get a cute workout outfit. Maybe you want to get a new kitchen gadget or something to prep your smoothies, or, whatever that might look like. Maybe you want to go get a pedicure or, do something, whatever that is that lights you up. I want to hear about it. So tell me, tag me, share that with me. I want to manifest that with you. And most people spend more than 30 minutes a day scrolling through their social media, watching TV. And if you feel like you don't have time to move your body, put your phone on airplane mode, put it in another room, put it on the charger, and queue up a free workout online. You can literally Google free workouts. Like I mentioned, the Peloton library of all the digital content is free for the next 2 months. Oh, thank you so much. It is non-toxic Zoya Faye. I was hoping that it was a little copper penny color, so I'm glad that you appreciate the non-toxic nail polish. But the Peloton app is free for the next 2 months. You can Google and find a 10-minute workout, a 10-minute stretching workout, a 10-minute core workout, 10-minute cardio, whatever that is. And you can work your way up to maybe more, or just consistently staying with that. And your reward is to get your phone and you can watch a Netflix show, or you can connect with your friends, you can check your email, you can check your Instagram, whatever. But you'll have to let me know how that works for you, because if you are able to do that and make time for yourself, you deserve a penny in your health bank. And so now that we've covered all of that, how can we harness the new doTERRA nutritional line of offerings to support our habits? So comment below if you caught any of the doTERRA Power of Healthy webinar tonight. And tonight our nutrition line, the new nutrition system, officially launched. So it's now active. If you want to find all those, you just log into your doTERRA.com account and you can keyword search protein or fiber, greens, whatever. And those items are the chocolate protein, vanilla protein, the vegan plant protein that tastes like vanilla. And then there's the fiber and the greens. And feel free to drop your questions if you're watching the replay, or you can message me directly if you have any questions. They're all gluten-free. They are sweetened with monk fruit, which is a white sugar replacement that I shared and I showed you guys about on my hot chocolate Periscope a couple weeks ago. And the protein powders have 21 grams of protein per scoop, which is huge compared to the other trim shake formula. It was like 7 grams of protein. This is a really big change. I cannot wait to try these and report back to you some of my recipes. They are available now for purchase. I'm looking forward to incorporating them into my midday meal. I'm gonna be experimenting, and I have some favorite shrimp shake recipes, and I'm gonna be just, kind of cut and pasting and using those new products instead of the old shrimp shake powder. And I will share with you my first impressions. I'm most excited to share how I feel with the fiber. I'm going to start taking the fiber every day. And so on the webinar yesterday for leaders that they showed us, they put the fiber into just plain water, and she drank it before a meal, and it really helped her stay full longer. And so especially with intermittent fasting, that might be something that I want to do either even after I eat my meal or before I've eaten my meal, because that's really going to sustain me from 5 to 6 p.m. all the way until 10 or 11 a.m. in the morning the next day. And I also love that the fiber has lemon, because that is really good for detoxifying your liver, your kidneys, your colon, your pancreas, your skin. We all want our skin to look great, and I'm really excited to try the fiber. So you'll have to let me know if you try those items, what you think of them. And I have a couple little frequently asked questions that they share with us. The price, that's a lot of the questions that I was getting earlier today. The protein powders are $39.50 and they're 25 PV, and the fiber is $19.50 and 14 PV, and the greens are $28.50 and 20 PV. And some of the kind of main things, they're gluten-free. The original products are being discontinued, so you will not be able to get the trim shake. You will not be able to get the greens. Those are going to be discontinued, so you won't be able to get that. These are safe for children to enjoy, so your kiddos can share with you. And then the serving sizes, one serving of the vanilla protein is 37 grams. That's the serving size, is one scoop, I'm assuming, and that's 20 servings in the vanilla protein, 20 servings in the chocolate protein, 20 servings in the vegan protein. There are 30 servings in the greens and 30 servings in the fiber. So if you do that every day, that'll be something that you can maintain in your routine for the whole month with your lifelong vitality vitamins and your greens and your fiber, and then adding one of these proteins into your routine every day. So I think that is going to be really helpful for you. And of course, taking your vitamins is foundational. I keep mine in a tackle box. I've shown this for years before. I love this. It just makes it really easy for me to remember to take my vitamins when I break my fast in the morning. And that's something that, in addition to the new nutrition system, this can be a really great catalyst for you. And so if you want to learn about the promotional kit, you can go to the link in my Instagram bio, and you can tap that, and that will show you the cost of the new enrollment kit, that you can get all these products together, which is going to be really exciting, or you can just buy them individually. So, as you navigate what could really feel like a heavy weight of responsibility to do tons of new things, tons of scary things in a new year, this is just something that you can do that's really simple. Just find a jar or a mason jar container, empty supplement bottle, anything, and use this as your health bank, and use this as a physical manifestation of what you are doing this year. And 1 penny is manageable. Like, this is as basic as it gets. You can totally do that. I have so much faith in you. I believe in you. I'm holding space for you. I'm going to be there holding accountability for you, that we will share this journey together. Break it down into as small bits as you possibly can. Again, tag me, DM me when you're putting a penny in your health bank for anything. And for sticking around, put a penny in your health bank, because that is awesome. And that is a commitment to you, to making your year incredible and filled with joy, and turning the page on all those things that make you feel guilt, and saying no to all those things, and saying yes without fear. There's nothing to be afraid of except the things that you don't do, right? That you don't try, that you don't give yourself permission to try. So that is what we are doing. And I would love for you to message me again and share with me what is maybe one thing that you're gonna do to put a penny in your health bank. And you can tag a friend for accountability. And I cannot wait to see who is gonna win their own penny bank for their wellness from me to you, because we can be twins in the interwebs, and you can show me when yours is halfway full, and we can celebrate your success together when it is all the way overflowing. And if you are watching this and you would like to get started with oils, I have a welcome bundle of resources for you. Reach out anytime. All my favorite starter kits are linked in my Instagram profile. I am here to help serve and support you, and I can't wait to see how this year is going to unfold. And my continuing education class for February will be Thursday, February 11th. And that is a wrap on our first Instagram Live, moved over from Periscope. I am so glad to be here with you, and I hope you have a wonderful weekend, and I cannot wait to see all of your pennies adding up to great things this year. I will see you guys soon.